Hey y'all, it's Sherry G. Welcome back to the channel. So look, Saturday's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, I think it was episode 3. Yeah, it was episode 3. I watched it and I don't always come right out and do any commentary on it. I never do any reviews. I don't do that. But I just kind of sit with what I see and kind of let it speak to me. And then I just don't like to jump out there and give my first thoughts on anything. And sometimes I go back and I look at it again. And that's what I did with the scene with Trish, Marquez, and Ken. The more I kept thinking about it, things just seemed off. It was just like watching a Tubi movie to me. First of all, I could not understand for the life of me why they would want to have this conversation with the three of them present. I feel like, especially in this scene, they're sitting, they're talking about co-parenting, etc., etc. Marquez hands Trish divorce papers. I really feel like Trish and Marquez should have had their conversation first and separate, and they should have come to some type of agreement and then taken that information and then sat with Ken. But anyway, it was just kind of off because I feel like that's how mature adults move in the real world. You wouldn't bring your side man or your boyfriend, living boyfriend or side dude or whatever you guys want to call him to the table with your ex-husband or soon to be ex-husband without having a conversation with him first, like the two of you coming to an agreement on how you're going to move forward first. So that seemed off to me. I don't know. Maybe people do things like this. It's just that's just not how I would want to see it done. That's not how I did things. And I don't know. It just didn't make sense, to me. And the more I kept watching, I went back and I watched it about 3 times, the more I just felt like I was watching a Tubi movie. Something was just off with this whole scene. And, speaking of Tubi, sometimes my husband and I, we'll watch a movie on Tubi. And while watching it, we point out all the little blunders or, all the little mishaps, all the things that the actors and actresses messed up on, all the things that production didn't pick up on, like someone's shirt on backwards or a wig on backwards or 2 different color shoes, crap like that. So when are we the only ones? Do you guys do that? I know we do it, and we'll just laugh and keep on watching. But this scene kind of reminded me of a Tubi movie because there were so many things that just were disjointed, that just didn't make sense. And I just watched it again for the fakery of it all, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Look, y'all, I'm going to go ahead, drop my disclaimer. In the meantime, if you haven't done so, please go ahead and like the video. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Look, let me drop my disclaimer and I'll be back with my commentary. So thanks for hanging out, guys. So look, before I get into my commentary, keep in mind that everything that I say regarding this scene and the people, Trish, Ken, and Marquez, is just my opinion. Everything's alleged. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not true. It's just my way of seeing things. It's all for entertainment purposes and all that jazz. So yeah, yo, this scene to me, it just looked like production ran over to Tubi and cut a scene from one of their shows and posted it in Saturday's episode. So again, this is the scene where Ken, Trish, and Marquez meet up for dinner so the three of them could talk and discuss how to move forward. Honestly, Ken was talking so much, no one could get a word in edgewise, if you ask me. I mean, he loves to steal the show. I know we like to say that Marquez likes the camera too, but so does Ken. Ken likes the camera too. He likes to be the it man. All right. And in my opinion, he seems to overexert himself. Yeah, I think him and Marquez are both camera thirsty. So anyway, they start going back and forth, singing the same old that we've been hearing since they showed up on camera. And there's Trish. Trish barely says anything, and she keeps her head down a good bit of the time that, the three of them are talking. Hardly gives her, any eye contact to the camera as per usual. And then y'all, Marquez, he starts crying during this conversation. Ken, eventually, he tells him that he just wants them to get to know one another. And he also advises Marquez to get professional help to work through his issues. Now, I kind of looked, my thought was, well, all three of y'all could probably benefit from some help to help work through your issues. I don't think Marquez is the only one. Anyway, he even had the nerve to tell Ken, telling Marquez that if he needed someone to talk to, he could call him, that he could trust him, that he was a stand-up guy. That sounds good, right? Yeah, it sounds good. And I was thinking, y'all, he had me fooled for a minute because I was thinking, wow, that's awfully nice of him. Like, oh, okay, Ken. But y'all, Ken does what Ken's been doing all along out here on social media, because right after this episode aired, he posted this. So this post says, it's so hard to deal with overly emotional men. On another note, them arms, nice. And so, he's flexing and laughing. And this is the thing about Ken that just kind of like drives me crazy. Like both the guys, because they're both going back and forth on social media for a while. And this is the part that just really, really makes me wonder about them. I mean, you just sat in the episode. We saw the episode where he was saying, hey, you can trust me. You can talk to me if you need somebody to talk. Then he turns around and he does this kind of bull crap. That's why I said they all could use some professional help. Ken might be a stand-up guy. He might be all that. He might have a hard time dealing with emotional men because we know Ken has a lot of bravado, right? And he's always flexing his muscles and all of that. All of that might be true, but to post it on social media, I think it's really distasteful. And I think it's immature. So as much as I try to see him as a level-headed guy, when he does stuff like this, it's just childish to me. And to me, the most important thing here, or the most important people here, are the children. And so they have to see something like this, which makes me wonder if he's doing stuff like this, both fathers and Trish, all three of them, if they do stuff like this to one another, tearing one another down on social media and things like that, what are they saying in front of the children at home? What are they talking about? How do they talk about one another in front of the children at home? That's what I think. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much. But yeah, it gives me cause to pause. So anyway, y'all, the three of them are sitting there, and out of the blue, Marquez pulls out divorce papers and proceeds to hand them to Trish. While he's handing them to her, he says that she just needs to sign with a notary. Then suddenly, y'all, a waitress walks by with a tray, and she has a pen on the tray, and Trish just happens to turn, and she notices the waitress with the pen on the tray, and she asks if she can borrow her pen. What in the world? I'm like, come on, production. Whose idea was this crap? And then Trish, she signs the papers, y'all. Not nary notary in sight. Not nary one. Ridiculous. Y'all know this crap was fake. But Ken thought we would fall for this bull crap, because he actually went on a rant tearing down and berating women. When he went on that rant, tearing down and berating women, he was getting on the millimeters and all that on his IG down in the comments. He had the audacity to say that Trish is divorced, and the courts say that is a lie. The divorce, which is contested, by the way, was just filed this past September. And actually, Trish was the one who filed them. And Marquez is contestant. You know, it's something to do with custody of the children. Anyway, y'all, in my opinion, these three can just go. Every last one of them. Get off our TV screens and fix your darn life, because this is a mess. This storyline is trash. Things aren't adding up. The foundation was cracked, in my opinion, before they even signed their contract with OWN, Kingdom Reign, or whoever pays these people. The lies keep on being revealed. And the this dysfunction is real. Yeah, in my opinion, this trio is a train wreck. Nothing against them on a personal level. I know Ken and Trish, but especially Ken, has gotten down and dirty with folk about, you know, their opinions. People like us who, you know, give our opinions. But in all honesty, we only respond to what they bring. And majority of the viewers are pretty sophisticated. So this is who the show attracted and appealed to at the onset. A very sophisticated audience for the most part, or viewers for the most part. So for us, for majority of us, this just ain't it. This just ain't cutting it. This is a made for Tubi situation. Anyway, y'all, that's all I have for you. We'll see what continues to happen with the three of them. I'm like, what next, y'all? Let's get off this train, because this is not a good look. So anyway, y'all, that's all I have for you in this video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell if you haven't. Until the next time, ciao.